Hello everyone, in this video we will see which files are created after creating a Django project and app which we have created in the last video, as we have created one Django project called demo and one app called auth. So let's see each and every file inside of our Django project and app which we have created for our project, and what is the use of this file, that we will also see. So as we have created one Django project called demo, so Django have created the demo folder and some files are created inside of this. So this demo folder, we can say this is the root app or main app. Okay, so inside of that there are the different files are available. So let's see each and every file one by one. The first one is Init.py. So Init.py file is used to whenever we require to import uh, some modules from one file into the another file, that time this init file is useful. So whenever we are executing some Python file and which contains some import which are available in another file, okay, so that time init file is executing first, and that init file make available that function or class which we have imported inside of another file. Okay, so after that this is the ASGI file, this is the server related file, so we don't need to use this currently. After that there is the setting.py file. Setting.py file is containing all the settings which required to uh, run the Django project. Okay, so there is a different type of settings are available, like what is the directory path of your project, secret key, allowed host, installed app. Okay, so this all the settings are common to your all over the project, so that's why all the uh, settings are available inside of this settings.py file itself. Okay, as you can see database configuration over here, and Django is providing the by default SQLite 3 as a database. Okay, SQLite 3 is not a database, but it is one of the file. So as you can see all the settings which are which needed inside of our Django project, throughout the Django project, so which we will mention over here, or these are the default setting which are required to run the one Django project. So this is the setting.py file, and whatever app we have created or we will create, that we need to mention inside of this installed app, so our Django project can understand we have these apps connected to our project. Okay, after that there is the urls.py. We will see how we can connect the each and every app inside of our Django setting.py file. Okay, and how we can manage these settings all over the Django project. Currently I am giving you the understanding of files and what is the use of these files. After that there is a URLs. So this is, as this is the root app or main app, so all the URLs related to your another modules or app which we will also mentioned inside of this urls.py, or we can mention uh, we can create another views.py file over here and mention the URL inside of this urls.py. Basically this urls.py file is managing all the URLs of your project, all the modules of your project, and if you have any URLs available inside of root app, then that is also also we can manage here. Okay, after that this is WSGI file. This is also required whenever we are deploying our project on the server. Okay, so this file is not needed for now. After that there is the manage.py file. This manage.py file is used to manage the commands which are defined inside of our Django project. So Django have different type of commands available by default, and we can create different commands for as we can create the different commands as a custom also. Okay, so whenever we need to run server, so run server is one command. So how we can run our Django project? So for that we need to use this manage file. So as we have created our module using manage.py, so for creating a module there is a start app. Okay, start app is one command, and there is, after that we are giving the name of our app. As you remember, if you have remember this command for creating the module or app, that is nothing but python manage.py start app, after that app name. So start app is a command and app name is the parameter for that command. Okay, and after that if we want to run our Django server, and we if we want to show our Django project on the browser, then how we can show that? So for that there is a different command, python manage.py run server. So that run server is the default command of our Django project, so which all the things are managed by this manage.py file. Okay, so this is the all the files about the main app, or we can say root app. After that we have created one module called auth. Inside of that there is also a same file, init file, which is used to uh, import from one file to another file. So whenever we are running that particular file, or whenever we are running our Django project, so this init file helps to find that particular class, imported class or function in function from another file to one file. Okay, after that there is a admin.py. So admin.py is useful because Django is providing us the one admin panel by default. Okay, we will see how it how that admin panel will look like. Okay, and whatever we need to change inside of that admin panel, we will write that code inside of our admin.py file. Okay, so that's why admin.py file is useful. After that there is a apps.py. This apps.py file is just the configuration for our main app, and this app which is referring to our module which is called auth, and this app class we need to mention inside of our setting file, so our Django project can understand that this app or module is attached to the main app. So I need to consider this module inside of my project. Okay, so whenever we are using the any module, okay, so that time we need to register inside of this installed app list. So how we can how that Django will check? So Django will check inside of apps.py file, and according to this app config class, it will understand that this module is connected to our main app. Okay, using setting.py file. So that's why app file is mandatory, and this all the files are created by default by Django itself. After that models file, this models file we have created, we will create the models or tables of database inside of this file. Okay, whatever tables we need to create, we must need to create inside of this models file, because whenever we need to apply the changes on the database or migrate our these tables to the database, so Django will automatically find all the tables which are available in models file. So that's why all the tables which we needed in our database we must need to write over here. Okay, so that is the use of models.py file, and we will see how to write the tables and all. After that test.py, so this is used for writing the test case. We will see what is the test case and how we can write the test case, but this file is not needed for now. After that views.py, Views.py file is useful for writing our business logic or function, which uh, whatever response or whatever business logic we want to convert, or whatever we want to write our business logic over here, and according to that business logic what response we need to give, that all will be uh, written here. Okay, so we will write all the things regarding business logic response will be here in views.py file. Okay, and inside of our module there is no urls file, but we need to create that urls file. Okay, in order to make the uh, connection with our function of whatever function we have written inside of views.py. So that function needs to connected to that particular url. Okay, and this all the urls of auth needs to register inside of our main app url. Okay, then only we can make the use of all the urls which are available in auth module, that we can use inside of our project while running the project. So we will see how it will uh, we can make the use of that. So let's run our Django project first. I have opened the terminal and I will activate first virtual environment as we know, and after that if we want to run the Django project, then we need to follow this command: python manage.py run server. Okay, and hit enter. After that, as you can see, there is one warning, and there is they giving us the server detail. So we need to open that particular url. So as you can see, our Django project is running, and by default this page will come up whenever you run your Django project first time. Okay, and what about the admin panel? So for admin panel, as you can see over here in the main app, there is the one url is registered, admin slash. So let's run this url and see what available at that url. So as you can see, uh, this is the Django administration. Okay, so this is basically a Django admin panel which is by default given by the Django itself. And how we can log in inside of it? For that we need to create one super user for that. So let's create one super user for that. Python manage.py super user. Not super user, but create super user. Create super user. So this is giving us the error. Why? Because as I have shown you, these migrations are not applied on our database. By default Django is having the SQLite 3 database. So for that we need to run this command: python manage.py migrate. So this command will migrate all our migration file which by default created by Django to the our database. So now all the migrations are applied to our database, and these tables are now available to the use. Okay, so if now I am creating the super user, then it will allow me to create the super user. So I need to add username and admin@example.com, and whatever password you need, you can add that password. And this, so super user is created successfully now. So we will see the what is the use of migrate and how we can create the migration. Okay, but for now, migrate is useful for all the changes related to the database we need to apply onto the database. So we will use this migrate command. So that, so as we have run our server, that is showing that we have not migrated these changes, 7 unsupplied migrations not uh, applied on the particular database. So we cannot use the different type of models which are available inside of Django to create the super user or use the facilities of Django. Okay, so we need to apply those changes to the database. So that's why we need to use this migrate command itself. And now we have created our super user and run the server, and now we need to log in inside of our Django project, Django administration, username and password we need to give. And as you can see, we have logged in into the Django administration admin panel, we can say. And here you can see all the tables which are available for now. These are the default table. These tables are always be available while we are creating the Django project. Okay, so this is how we can log in into the Django admin panel, and we can register our URLs inside of this, and we will see how to register our different modules URL inside of the main app or root app. And I hope you have understood the concept of each and every files and how to create the super user, how to migrate the changes to the database. Okay, so thank you, see you in the next video.